Tour junkies.
What's going on, golf addicts? Welcome to the 2025 RBC Canadian Open. DB here, my boy Pat. It is the Tour Junkies breaking down all the betting action. New golf course, TPC Toronto, on the PGA Tour this week. Not in Toronto. It's literally far away from Toronto. It's kind of weird. It's like way outside of Toronto. Our boy Matt Every, as he does every week, is going to join us. Former PGA Tour winner and ESPN plus ESBet PGA radio golf personality Matt Every. We are Matt, Pat, what would you say we're doing here? Are we kind of we're just kind of shooting from the hip this week, aren't we?
Yeah. This is a very it's kind of like that office episode or not office. What is that movie? What is that movie? The Office? Is that also a movie?
Office Space?
Office Space, where they're like, what is it that you do here?
What would you
like?
say?
I don't know what we do here today.
By the
way,
go ahead.
I if there's a country that I have the worst geographical damn it,
I couldn't tell you
geographical feel for is Canada. I don't know where anything is.
Dude, that is so crazy that you say that. I have no effing clue what side of Canada Toronto is on.
No idea. I don't know where anything is.
I have a better chance of putting my finger on Istanbul, Turkey, or maybe a Botswana, or I know Africa pretty well because of my wife.
Yeah.
Than I do of telling you where Alberta is or Ontario.
No idea. I can tell you Montreal. I think Montreal's on our side, on the East Coast side. So I feel like I know that, but that's about all I can tell you.
I also can't wrap my head around. If you said, is this a state, a province? Isn't that what they have? They have like states,
territories.
Yeah. If you said, is it a state, a province, a territory? What is it? I don't know. I have no idea. And it's really sad. And it is embarrassing, probably.
It is. I know the Canadian people that listen to us are going, what, these ignorant Southerners? Yeah. I get it. And I get it. You're able to say
in the space who are Canadian. Like, I love Pat Mayo. I love Feinberg. I love Andrew Cuss. Pat. He's a great guy. And I have no idea where these people live in the world.
Mm-mm.
I don't know where they live in the world. You might as well be the North Pole. You might be living with Mr. and Mrs. Claus. This tournament could be just outside the North Pole, as far as I'm concerned.
You could be in an igloo. I have no idea.
Yeah, how are we even doing this? How are we even playing golf in Canada? I thought it was ice fishing and iglooing,
tundras and stuff.
And I went to Canada for my wife's 40th. We went to Banff. It was beautiful. I went there. I was there for 4 days.
Did you know where direction you were going when you went there?
No, worse. I've already been there, and I don't know where it is, and I've been there. I'm not even kidding you. If you said point to Banff on a map, just a general area, I bet I wouldn't be within 500 miles of where Banff is.
Probably not.
But beautiful place. Beautiful.
Amazing. Yeah. Love Canada. Love Canada.
Those lines. And maybe this is just like, maybe you and I are not the typical ignorant Southerners. Maybe we just suck at geography. Like my kid, my middle child is wonderful at geography. He knows where crap is. It's unbelievable. But okay, I'm not just being anti-Canadian. I was in Omaha 2 weeks ago when I missed the show. Pat, if I had one opportunity to save my own life or the life of my family, and I had one opportunity to look at a blank U.S. map with the state lines outlined and no markations, I would have to die. I would die because there's no way I could point to Nebraska on the map. I couldn't do it. And I was just there 2 weeks ago, have no idea where I was. All I know is I was west. There wasn't much there. And then I flew east. I couldn't tell you where Nebraska is.
So it's an equal opportunity thing in your brain. Like you did. Yeah. That's good.
I'm not good with just overall where, like, north, south, east, west. You know, like I'm not good. I know the sun rises in the east and sets in the west.
Yeah.
That's
I feel
about
like
all I
I'm
know.
pretty good at it, but I don't know. I mean, geography is a different thing to me than where your brain tells you something is
Yeah.
from where you are, like where you're standing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know who's
It-
good at that's Joel Damon, bringing it back to golf. You
that's
remember
right.
we heard that? Gino
That's
told us
right.
that. Joel's like an incredible mind. Like he's like a beautiful mind when it comes to like directional things.
Yes, Gino told us that. He will be like, they'll be in a practice round and he'll go, Joel, see that water tower? What direction is it? And he'll be like, oh, that's northwest, like that. Like just
Yeah.
know it. Just be able to get it, which is mind blowing to me.
Mm.
I'm not a boy. I'd be a terrible Boy Scout or a Girl Scout. Either one. I wouldn't be good at it. I think I could sell some cookies. But other than that, I wouldn't be good. Presented to you by SoBet. This is an awesome show. We are presented to you by an awesome company called SoBet. You can check it out. They're doing some awesome contests over there. Friends at SoBet. They've been friends of the pod for quite some time. Link in the description. Code TJ gets you a nice little discount. You can try it for $1 this month, and you will love it. And you'll want to come back. And we're up units over on SoBet, despite a few losing weeks. But that's how big of a lead we've had on the season. And it's a long season. You got to keep grinding. You got to keep going. We had the leaderboard surrounded this week, Pat, as Scotty Scheffler wins again. I had Ben Griffin and Sepp Straka, who finished second and third. And I said in my write-up on SoBet, hey, I'm going to spend less units this week because I think Scotty is going to win. But if he doesn't, here are a few names I think could take him down. Did they? No. But, I think Ben Griffin, we talked a lot about Ben Griffin last week. And Matt Every's going to join us here in a minute. We'll get into TPC Toronto and the Canadian Open. We talked a lot about Ben Griffin last week. Did you watch any of it or did you track any of it yesterday?
I did not. I was not able to yesterday. No.
But
well, I mean, I tracked it and I just kind of saw Scotty coming along, and then once I knew he was going to win, I really didn't check it out much. I'll be honest.
So you don't have any thoughts on Ben Griffin, I guess, huh?
I didn't watch him play. I mean, the only thing I think about with Ben Griffin right now is that I feel like he's solidly on the Ryder Cup team, which may be good. I don't know. Maybe we'll like him a lot at the Ryder Cup. But anyway, go ahead with your thoughts.
I didn't watch him play either. I watched like the first. I was in and out. I was watching Georgia baseball lose.
Yeah, that was terrible. I don't want to talk about it. I can't believe you brought that up.
I watched all 4 hours of that game.
Yeah.
Big moment for Ben. Big moment for Ben. Final group with Scotty Scheffler, the best player in the world, playing the best, defending champ at Memorial, the best golfer since Tiger Woods. Let's just say it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's standing on the tee at the Memorial at Jack's place in the final round. And man, I thought he did well. Like I thought he showed me something, and I bet he learned a lot. I bet one of the things he learned is, damn, Scotty Scheffler is really good. But man, I actually think he had to. He's already riding confident after the Zurich, after the win last week. I think he took away some good things yesterday. He bogeyed the first hole, which was like, okay, here we go, like a little shaky. The first hole's tough. They both I think came up short right in like a chipping area. He just didn't get up and down. Scotty did. But then he comes out and he birdies number 2. He splits the center of the fairway, 322 yards, throws a dart, makes the putt, back to 1 behind Scotty. And Scotty comes back, then he bogeys 4, then he birdies 5, bounces back again. So, 2 times he bogeys and bounces back with a follow-up birdie on the front 9 and finds himself still in the conversation going into the back 9. And that's all you can ask for when you're playing against Scotty. Like, I thought he handled himself pretty well. And bogeys 12 and 13, but then eagles, and you think it's just, okay, now it's really over. Then he eagles 15 with an amazing second shot from 256, hits it to 12 feet, makes the putt, then birdies the par 3 16th, makes a 27-footer, and you're thinking, wow, here we go. Like, this kid is on it. And then he double bogey 17 and exits. But I think Ben is interesting. Like, I think he's confident, and while he's hot, you keep riding him. And I think it was a good thing to see. Just something I noticed on Sunday. And Scotty is unbelievable. Scotty's as dialed as Scotty can be.
He really is. On Ben first, like, Am I going to have to learn to like Ben? I feel like I'm going to have to. I don't think he's going anywhere for right now. Like I said, he's going to be on the Ryder Cup team. So he's going to show some personality, I imagine, at the Ryder Cup. And I don't know, maybe next year I'll just be a huge Ben Griffin fan. Ben and Dana.
Ben and Dana. Can you see? Oh, God. Dana is going to eat up the WAG scene.
Oh, Ryder Cup? Yes.
Oh, all the WAG events and the
Yeah.
planning. Dude, she is locked in to that. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
She will be all over New York City wagging away.
The only thing I can say about Scotty, did you see the picture going around of after he won of his son with the big poopy stain on the back, on his back? That's the only thing, because I'm like, I don't know what else to say about Scotty, so let's talk about his son with the big poop stain on the back.
In what way? Like, you want to make fun of his 1-year-old for
no, not make fun of him. Like, I want to say, like, hey, that's just real. That's real. That's what happens in the real world. You're the best golfer since Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
You win a golf tournament, you get handed a baby with a poopy stain. I mean, that's like back to reality.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was pretty special to see, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you get handed the baby with poop all over him. You go inside to sign the scorecard, and your forearm smells like 3-day-old squash. That's a very dad. That's like a real world dad thing.
And I don't know what else to talk about because Scotty's so good,
Yeah,
and there's just nothing else. And here we go. We got the U.S. Open next week, and he's going to be the favorite, and I don't know, he probably wins.
Do we think people are going to not even turn on the show next week knowing that you're not going to be here? It's just going to be me and Matt?
No, not at all. Because I feel like you've had way too much time. I gave you too much leeway to be able to come up with stuff like about me, like, or even that you could like have a segment about just.
Oh, I would never
talking some shit. Because I talk shit to you when you've been. I mean, that's happened.
Now you do realize this will be on the heels of our member guest event that is coming this weekend. So
oh yeah, yeah.
If you shit the bed, if you Bennett Scheffler,
yeah,
the member guest, I get to absolutely nuke you on Monday. Yeah. You are not there to defend yourself.
Oh, I'm not. I know. So, listen, I've thought of all of these things. I know this.
But also, like, what if we? I mean, let me just let's just. You know how sometimes it's fun to think about if I won the lottery here, start spending the money. What if we won? Okay, and I'm not talking about just win our flight, because that's our first goal. We just want to win our flight, get to the shootout. We've never won our flight. I figured it out last night. This is either year 5 or 6. We've never won our flight. But let's just say we win the whole thing. You're going to have to come on Monday.
Oh, yeah. I will come on as a guest, or I may do that anyway, but you may decide whether or not you want me to do that anyway. But there'll be a little bit of a time difference. But yeah, I mean, it's not like I can't throw the AirPods on and come on.
Okay.
But yeah, if we win the whole thing, there's no way I'm not coming on to talk through how this all went down. So,
as we do every year around member guest, I come up with a playlist. I've got it queued up. I'm still kind of fine tuning it. It's called Hits and Bops and Bops and Hits. I've got it ready. It's very nice. It's a mix of 90s, 2000s hip hop, 90s, 2000s rock, alternative, a little bit of modern rock, a lot of country, 90s country, current country. There is some very obscure hits and bops and hits on there that some people may raise an eyebrow at, but it just depends on what's happening. But overall, I feel really good about the playlist, and I would encourage anyone watching on YouTube to drop us a comment, let us know, or if you're watching this on X, comment on X, like, hey, give us a suggestion, give us a title. It's a member guest. Like, what are we going to want? What do we need? What do DB and Pat need? Help us be a part of the team. You know what I mean? Like, this is your opportunity to be a part of the team. Think about it like you're buying a share. The only way you can really buy a share into this. Now, you're welcome to send donations. We will take donations. We need help for the Calcutta. I can tell you that. You can Venmo at @tour_junkies. Please do. So we'll take donations towards the Calcutta. But if you really want to buy in emotionally to the team and invest in us, that we've never made the shootout, we've come so close, we've never come out of our flight, we need something to help us, to put us over the edge. drop a song suggestion in the comments. Give it to us. So we'll put it on there. And who knows, if we make it, you could play a small part of that, because that's a big deal. Vibes are huge. And the member guest starts Friday morning. We'll be playing a Champions Retreat. Friday morning, we got 3 9-hole matches. Saturday, 2 9-hole matches. We'll try to keep everybody updated on Instagram as we do every year. Didn't get to play last year because of Hurricane Helene, jacked us up, but we're excited to be back.
Yeah, can't wait.
Also really excited about a person who won a lot of money last week, and I'm going to just put it up on screen. Look at this. Look at that.
That's amazing.
Look at that. Illegal Form Nation on X tweets out, join the Tour Junkies, use BTN. We actually know this individual. He's a fantastic person. He's a friend of the Tour Junkies. We know him personally, but he's been a longtime Tour Junkies supporter. Met him in 2022 at Golby's Cup in Pennsylvania. He was one of the few that came out and played with us that week. He's an insane person, but great guy, and member of the Nut Hut as well, longtime member of the Nut Hut, and just hit him a big one. Won $100,000, took down a GPP on FanDuel, had Scotty Scheffler, Shane Lowry, Sepp Straka, Nick Taylor, Keegan Bradley, and Ryan Fox to take down $100,000 on FanDuel. Really pumped to see that for Illegal Form Nation. And you should take his advice. Join the Tour Junkies by getting in the Discord. Link is in the description, as well as try and get in on BTN. And BTN is going to be huge this week. We're going to have some boots on the grind. We've already got a little bit of intel from BTN, but we're going to have a lot more. We'll drop that in the chat on Wednesday night with Pat, or we'll type it in somewhere. But we'll definitely have some intel on a brand new golf course in TPC Toronto.
Yeah, I can't wait to check out this golf course, because I like when we get a new golf course. But also, I think you got to be on BTN. You've got to the model we trust this week, DB. I know you've probably got a model, but
I don't.
Yeah, so we'll see.
And the model we trust is very good. Early, let's just get into this. Early reports from the BTN folks, who, by the way, we have joined forces with BTN as part owners. If you want looking for a great way to improve your golf gambling, golf DFS, golf props life, and you also want to support us and help us make the product better with our friends that we partner with at Bet the Number. Now we are part owners of Bet the Number. Get in there, betthenumbergolf.com. Link in the description. Code TJ gets you a discount, monthly or annual subscriptions. And if you try a monthly or annual subscription between now and through the U.S. Open, you get entered into a drawing that will earn you a free year to the Discord, which is pretty sick. Pretty excited about that. Free year to the Discord. And if you've already done that, awesome, you're already in, and we'll hook you up. But the folks at BTN have a preliminary model. It may be adjusted. It is a public model. You can go look at it. So if you're like, hey, I don't really know what to do, I just want to copy you guys, then you can do that. On Bet the Number, the model is up and live. It's kind of basic at the moment. I could see them maybe tweaking it. I might use it and build off of it by Tuesday or so, once we learn a little bit more about TPC Toronto that's not in Toronto. But it's word on the street. So it's a par 70. They did play an America's Tour event here last year, which I think is the old Canadian Tour.
Mm-hmm.
They said the winner only hit 46 greens that week. I think there was a good bit of wind. I was looking at the weather preliminarily. The weather looks pretty good, kind of dry, although I've heard it's been a little wet there this year, but drier this week. Maybe a slight chance of rain Friday or Saturday, but not much. The wind looks kind of mild. I don't know. We'll kind of have to wait and see on that. But apparently last year there was a little more wind, 5 under 1, and only 46 greens hit by the winner. So you were having to really scramble it. Early opinion from the folks at BTN is the birdie fest narrative is tough to wrap your head around. Probably not going to be a birdie fest, although parts of the course look gettable. But you got only two par 5s, number 1 and number 18. But you've got some pretty beefy par 3s, a couple over 220, and then some longer par 4s as well. So I think a good mid-iron, long iron test and distance is gonna help here. Distance, some short game. I think the greens are pure bent grass surfaces. But yeah, no course history to go off of. Brand new golf course. We'll see how this goes. Kind of on the outskirts of Toronto. Sounds really good for Rory and Ludwig, who are the top 2 in the betting odds. Pat.
Yeah, I think both of them, and it sounds. I mean, look, with what we've been seeing lately with Scotty, I would not be surprised if we see another favorite win again this week with Rory. I'll be interested in Ludwig. I mean, he's 14-1. Really has just appeared off his game. He did get a T16 at the Memorial last week.
And gained strokes tee to green last week.
Yeah,
5.9, 5.1 basically strokes gained tee to green, kind of neutral with the flat stick, which he's not been doing that. So it is good to see him showing some ball striking again, because that seemed like that had kind of left him a little bit.
yeah, I noticed that too. So I think Ludwig could have a very good week here.
Seems like a great course for him. The last time he, the last time he was green across the board in terms of strokes gained, off the tee, approach, and around the green. The last time all of those three categories were positive for him was the Genesis. So now, even after after the Genesis, it kind of dropped a little bit, but it is good to see some signs of life from Ludwig. What do we think about Rory? Like, we haven't seen Rory very much at all. I mean, he wins wins the Masters, and then just plays in the Zurich for some dumb reason, I guess, to
Yeah.
defend. Plays in the Truist at Philly Cricket T7. PGA is just kind of nothing. Doesn't do the media thing. Haven't seen him since. He is scheduled to be on the presser, I think, on Wednesday. Oakmont's ahead of him. What do you think about where he's at right now?
I mean, I don't know. I think when you look at, for one, he's also defending here, and that's the reason he's playing this golf tournament. But I would imagine so. I think that for Rory though, he is defending here, isn't he? Am I right on that?
Was it Bobby Mack or is it Rory?
I don't know.
Bobby Mack. He won in 2019 and 2022.
Well, technically, he's defending here. So anyway,
Let me look.
yeah, I think. I mean, I don't know. I'll be interested to see what we get from Rory, but I don't think, again, that Rory's game has left him since the Masters. I mean, I think there was a little bit of a distraction with the driver issue. I think he even admitted that at the PGA, but not because he felt like it did anything wrong. He just thought it was done a little bit. It was not exactly how he thought it was all going to come out. But anyway, I think I feel like you're going to see a good week from Rory, and I would not be surprised if he wins this golf tournament.
Okay. Well, Matt's going to be on here. By the way, the season long bet between us, you picked up a nice $4 million from Scotty and Ben on. Having Scotty as the winner again certainly helps you out. And that now puts you in first above me by about $1.5 million, which is not a huge deal because it's really not about finishing first. It's about not finishing last. Tony and Matt are kind of pillow fighting down there at the bottom, but Tony still has a commanding lead. I am getting to pick first this week. So, Pat, but I know you got to jump out of here before Matt joins. Do you want to talk about, why don't you talk about a few other names that are just catching your eye in general, and then we'll maybe start the draft and see what happens.
Well, I think there's a couple. I do like Ludwig this week at that 14-1 number. I think if I'm not gonna do anything with Rory, I would go there. I think I'll also have some shares of Corey Connors at 20-1 up top. I mean, he's still been in excellent form this year. He's fifth in the BTN model. He's obviously he's Canadian. This is a tournament that he wants to win. We've seen Canadian players do well. So I think Corey Connors at 20-1 is at least a decent enough number for this field. I strongly am opposed to anything to do with Shane Lowry anymore, so I will go down to Corey Connors at the 20-1 number. Shane really is pissing me off. I wanted to talk about Shane just for a second. What the hell is his problem when you have him on your betting card? It almost makes me want to cry.
No, are you getting choked up? Did you have him on your card last week?
I did, and he was there at 3 under. He was kind of there.
He gained 6.8 strokes approach last week.
Yeah, well,
he also lost 3 around the greens and putting. But
Sunday was a disaster.
Interesting. Okay. That's interesting.
A few other names, DB, I think
Yeah.
that we should look at. Harry Hall is one of them at 40-1.
Harry Hall. My name is Harry Hall from the Peaky effing Blinders. Great show, by the way, if you've not seen it.
11th in the BTN model. He's 40-1. By the way, if I'm giving my top 220 locks, I'm going to give you Harry Hall at plus 170, and just below him, our boy Luke Clanton is back in the field, plus 160. I like him as a top 20. I think he could sneak up. He's what? Oh, yeah, that's right. It is his pro debut. That's right. So I do like Luke Clanton. He's second in the model, by the way. At
Harry
40.
Hall is a lock top 20?
Lock top 20. Yeah, he's my lock. I don't want to go anywhere else. I would say Corey Connors, but it's a minus number, and we tend to stay at the positive number. So I don't think I would go with any of these other guys between Harry Hall and Luke Clanton and Corey Connors.
What about a bomb?
Harry Hall. My bomb is going to be. I'm going to go with. Where was my bomb? I thought I wrote this down, DV. I don't know. Oh, I'm going to go with Antoine Rosner, 4-1.
Ugh. What? You surely look again. I think you maybe you wrote something down wrong. Is he in the field?
Yeah, he's in the field. He was T13. He was T13 at the CJ Cup. I'm going with the momentum.
The CJ Cup at Byron Nelson?
Yeah, exactly.
Dude.
He's got a top 20 at the Open last year. Top 20 at the Memorial in 2021. We're flying by the seat of our pants. Let me go with my position. My other one would be Joel Damon. I'd take Joel Damon at 40. Plus 400.
We'll go with that. Although this might be a big golf course for Joel.
And then I want to give. I'll have my card out as always, but I do think there are a couple other guys I thought were interesting here. Vince Whaley is at 80-1, and then I cannot leave without Rio Hissatusier, who's also at 81. Now, it might be a little bit of a big course for Hissatusier, but he's been playing very well, and I do like that. Whaley, by the way, is also playing well. T15 at the CJ Cup. Charles Schwab, he was T11. He is 6th in the BTN model. I really like Whaley this week also, kind of long shot at 80-1.
Whaley 6th in the BTN model? That's nuts. Hey, let's do this real quick before we get out of here. Let's do the draft. I have the first pick. I guess I have to take Rory. I'd be a fool not to take him. So I'll take Rory. Although I don't love Rory this week. Tony, producer Tony is next. 130-1 and 150-1 or longer. Tony takes Corey Connors. He's silent, Tony, today. Corey Connors. Pat, why don't you pick two? Just give us 4 names in the event Matt. We'll let Matt has a pick before you, but you can give us 4 names, 2 shorter and 2 longer.
All right, so you took Rory. He's taking. Well, I'll go with Ludwig, but I think Matt's going to take Ludwig.
Okay, if Ludwig's not available,
I will go Luke Clanton.
Ooh, okay, I like it. All right, long shot. You get both of these automatically.
Okay, then I will go with. I'll go with Carson Young, and I don't want to do it, but I'll go with. Well, Svensson's 120-1. Damn it. Can't do that one. I'll go with Justin Lauer, 150-1.
Got it. Thank you for your time, Pat. Thank you for your service. We will see you in a couple weeks. I'll see you in Augusta on Thursday.
Yeah, cannot wait. Good luck, folks.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Carson Young and who? Oh, yeah, Lauer.
All
right. See you, buddy. Ladies and gentlemen, replacing Pat, a more handsome version, very much younger, better smile, better hair, better golfer, better personality, funnier, martyr. Oh yeah, Matt Every. There he is. Hey, Matt.
Not better picks though.
Well, we're professionals, Matt.
Yeah, you are. That's true.
No, you're the professional. Great job on ESPN Plus again this week.
Oh, did you watch?
Yeah, a little bit.
What'd you think?
I should have given you a word. I forgot to give you a word.
Yeah, it was all right. I thought the flow was a little better on there this time. We're still trying to find our footing, but I don't know, man. I'm not the boss of that thing.
What would you say you do here?
Yeah, right. I would love to be the boss of that thing, though.
You'd have it humming. I know you would.
I'd
You'd
have
it humming.
I'd have you on there for sure.
Oh, well, appreciate it. I'm just coming off the golf course. Me and Pat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I played a little charity scramble today. So that was fun. Me and Pat just coming in hot today. We did get some intel from our friends about the number on the golf course. A lot more to come. You don't know much, do you? I know that there's like not much out there.
There isn't. It's just a weird week in general. It's a shame. The Canadian Open at Glen Abbey. It was kind of a mixed bag of opinions. A lot of guys loved it. A lot of guys hated it. I thought it was awesome. I mean, you want to talk about a back nine that just could provide fireworks. It's right up there with like Hartford for me.
Yeah.
Remember the shot Tiger hit on 18 out of
Yeah.
the fairway bunker? Yeah, but there's been so many good finishes there through the years. And I don't know shit about this golf course, to be honest. But as far as like the Canadian Open is concerned, I love that event. It will be slammed 100%. They some of the best crowds of the year. And one other thing, it was one that I always wanted to win because I knew how much it meant to the Canadians. And I thought it was really the only way you could experience a true away game in an individual sport is if you came on the stretch against a Canadian and beat them, because it would just be, that would be all time for someone wired like my way. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Who was
Didn't VJ beat Mike Weir
at the RBC Canadian? I don't know. Who was the best Canadian you played against?
I feel like a couple times I played in the Masters with Mike Weir, but he was on his way kind of out then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Graham Dillette was
that's right. He was a stripe show.
He was, man. I mean, you want to talk about, I mean this in like the best way possible, but talk about an underachiever, like big time. He kind of got the flinches out of the bunker there for a while at the end of his career. And then he battled injuries a bunch. Graham was sick. Adam Hadwin was sick. There might be a couple others, but I would say Nick Taylor.
No, yeah, that's right.
By the way, is there a bad Canadian, like human? Never met one.
Hold on, let me think of one.
Trudeau.
Yeah, there's one.
Yeah.
Damn, huh? No, there's not other than him. That's the only one.
Yeah.
Crazy. Are you a Poutine guy?
Dude, I love poutine. Are you kidding me? I've bathed myself in poutine.
Sound clip.
It's the best ever. Obviously, I love the way it sounds. I love the way it sounds. But then the taste is just, I mean, it's on another level. We got a couple barbecue joints around here, DB, that serve like barbecue poutine. Ooh, baby. I mean, it's a coin flip if you're going to get type 2 diabetes after, but it is really good.
Did you ever drink a Caesar in Canada?
No.
I'm not a Bloody Mary guy. Pat's kind of a Bloody Mary guy, but when we went to Banff for my wife's 40th, that was a thing like that they pushed a lot was a Caesar, and it's like a bloody, but it's green. You know, have you seen it?
No, I have no clue.
I can't remember what made it green or why, but I think it had like oyster juice in it or something. It was
milkshakes last week, poutine this week.
Yeah, dangerous. Yeah, dangerous. We talked. Did you watch it? Well, I'm sure you did. You watched yesterday. What was your takeaway on Ben Griffin's day? Like,
I am obsessed.
Up, down, or the same?
I love Ben Griffin.
What do you think of how he handled it yesterday?
I thought he was fine. I mean, it's not easy. I do. He is going up in my. I mean, it was already up there, but I thought he handled it fine. That shot he hit into 15. Look, a couple things. A couple things. He was 4 back, so it's not like he was nipping. It's not like he was 1 back. All right. So the situation automatically becomes, I would say, just a little bit easier because you're 4 back, you're freewheeling it. But
he had a 260-yard shot to 12 feet and then made
it was a sick shot. Yeah. No, sick shot. Making the putt was awesome. Everyone was missing that putt to the right. Everyone was. I had that. I was like kind of on those holes. The putt he made on 16 was super impressive. And then I just like the way he carries himself, man. I feel like he's trying to be cool, but he doesn't need to. I mean, he already is. You know what I'm saying?
in his own way. It's not like Jake Knapp's cool.
No. Jake Knapp's cool. I see Ben. He's like a cartoon character, kind of.
Yeah.
A little bit.
That's good. I agree. I thought
sneaky long too. I mean, he was
he was moving it.
Yeah, he was. 17. God, I know he would love to have that tee shot back. I would love to have it for him to have it back too. Put that ball in the fairway and let's just see where shit shakes out. 2 down with 2 to go. You know.
Yeah.
But great week for him. I got to be honest. After the first round, I was pissed. I was first time all year where I was like, "You idiot!" Like Ben Griffin's playing some of the best golf. Like,
yeah,
he is playing the best golf on tour, other than the 2 world beaters. Like, how do you not take a look at this guy?
Well, that's why I had him on the card. It's just like, let me just ride my hot hand, and I felt like he's just so confident right now. Like maybe if Scotty just didn't put his name up there, like way up there, you knew he was going to be in the top 5, but not like had he hung back and been 2 or 3 or 4 shots back going into Sunday. Like I just felt like, well, maybe Ben can just close it out. He's not afraid if Scotty's really got to chase him and come up behind him. But obviously it was a different situation yesterday. But and then
where are you at with player of the year right now?
I mean, it's Rory.
Yeah.
To me,
one more win. Scotty wins Oakmont. Does it go to Scotty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the Pebble players in Augusta. So, yeah, if Scotty wins, you know, the PGA Memorial and Oakmont.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Scotty. But I mean, I think right after them, it's Sepp.
What's the average margin of victory for Scotty this year? Is it 4+?
I don't know, man. He's cruising.
Sepp, yeah, really good stuff last week too from him. What do you think? He's 4th best this year behind Ben Griffin, or are you putting Sepp ahead of Ben Griffin?
Sepp is definitely ahead of Ben Griffin. Yeah. Was he got 2 wins? I mean, Griffin's one of his is Zurich.
Yeah. He's also got a second in a signature event that basically is a win. I mean, he pays like a win.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Sepp for me.
Yeah.
Well, it was a good week. Moving on to this week, TPC Toronto apparently is pretty far outside of Toronto. It's kind of remote.
Is it?
Apparently,
that's a bummer. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how that will affect. I don't know how easy it is to get there, or
it is an odd. Even when they move it to like Royal St. George or like one of those one-off ones up there, it is.
It doesn't matter.
It's freaking awesome up there. Yeah, it is. That's one of the events I miss the most, Canadian Open.
Yeah. You know, our early reports are basically like only 2 par 5s, some long par 4s, a couple of beast par 3s. Seems like it's pretty well suited for the favorite in Rory, and a past RBC Canadian Open champion. But I don't know. Like me and Pat were just talking. Where do you think Rory's game is at post? You know, Masters, kind of skipping around some events, going to the PGA, having the driver issue, not talking to the press.
Yeah, I wouldn't be crazy about betting on him this week.
I'm not either.
It feels like something's going on there. Not calling Jack, bailing out of Memorial. He's been pretty quiet since he's won the Grand Slam.
Yeah,
I have some takes that I would tell you like face to face, but I don't really. It's personal stuff, and I don't know. I just
something does seem off.
Something feels wrong.
This should be like and I'm sure like you win the Grand Slam finally and you win the Masters finally. It's like you're gonna take some time to decompress and like monkey off your back, relax, which I think he did okay. But it would seem like at this point it'd be like the Rory World Tour. Like this week, the whole season would be, man, you can't wipe the grin off his face. He's playing free at every opportunity. And like, I don't know. It weird that he didn't call Jack. I agree. Who knows? Well, time will tell. He's supposed to talk to the press on Wednesday, I think. But so that leaves Ludwig at the top. So we did the draft, but you get the third. You get the third pick, and we're gonna let you take Pat. Pat gave us 2 picks for his first round.
Okay. Give me a second here. Full disclosure: I filmed from 6 to 11 today for that show I do. I know, dude. And then I just went and was over at the office moving crap. All right, here we go. Who'd you take? What am I picking?
So I was the first pick. I took Rory because I felt like I had to. I don't love it. Tony took Corey Connors.
Okay.
And you were on the board.
Give me Shane Lowry.
You can have him. Scott did not take him.
Okay.
Pat did not take him. Pat is very burned after Lowry just did what Lowry does last week. So Pat took Ludwig, and he took.
Is it 150?
Yeah, 150.
Okay.
Tony, who was his bomb? Was it Carson Young?
Dude, Gordon Sargent's playing in this tournament.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's gonna be fun to
Luke
watch.
Clanton making his
I know, pro debut.
Okay, yeah. So he took Carson Young. So you have now 150 to 1 or longer.
Yeah. Give me Henrik Norlander.
Ooh, I like it. Fellow Champions Retreat member.
I love him.
I do too. Tony, you were up, sir. Wait, Tony, you're taking Antoine Rosner? Or that was Pat?
Are you interested to see what this Gordon Sargent kid shoots? Because he's not cracking his college. Didn't crack his college lineup. That's what the word on the street was, right?
Well, he was like one of the best players.
Well, I know. Yeah, he. That's why he's playing.
Kind of lost it.
PGA Tour U. I think he was like he had locked it up to where he couldn't lose the number 1 spot. Whatever. I'm not sure if it's the accelerated program or what it is, but I'm pretty sure he's guaranteed like a card, right? And
yeah, he is. And then he went back to school and he played like crap.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that. I mean, I'm interested.
I'm interested to see what he shoots. Like, I'm not interested in hopping on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you? All right, hold on. Let's finish these picks here. It's Tony's pick, 150 to 1 or longer. I might jump in front of him though if I can nail down what I want to do here. God, it's brutal. Oh man, Aaron Wise is in the field.
What?
Moly.
Forgot about that guy.
Dude, I used to love. You talk about a problem. I had an Aaron Wise addiction. I bet that fool every week when he was
really
here. Every week I lost money on Aaron Wise. Every single week. Just a big fan of his game. But man, he has dropped off a lot. He's not. This guy is playing terribly. I can't do that. Just can't. God dang it. I don't know what to do. Maybe I'll go. You know what? I'm gonna shoot for. Did Tony pick? Let's see. Tony picked Rosner, Antoine Rosner. I don't understand that. Pat mentioned him. Okay, I am going to take. I want to take Trey Mullinax.
I looked at that.
I just think, I think this is going to be another bomber's paradise. Not that you have to be, but there's just some long irons into this thing and need some speed. Short game might not hurt you. Apparently last year at the America's Tour event, the winner only hit 46 greens in reg here. But I think it was pretty windy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see.
There's also this week, it feels like there's a lot of late withdrawals at this tournament. Like if guys qualify for the Open today, they might be.
Today's the longest day, right?
Yeah. So like if Henrik, what happens in that situation, by the way, with our week-long picks? Are we just fucked or what?
No, we'll text each other. If your guys make it, we'll text the group and get a substitution in. But I would say it's your responsibility to make sure that
I agree.
You're aware.
Yeah.
If the ball's in the air on Thursday, you're screwed.
How'd you play today, by the way?
I had it pretty good. I actually played as our A player, which means our team was terrible. We finished dead middle of the pack, but I actually did it pretty good. It was good for me because me and Pat have the member guests this weekend, Friday and Saturday. So it was good to play like just a loose round, hit it well, play with some confidence. I chipped it well.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling okay. I got a little hooky with the irons at the end. I had had some big power draws with the irons that I got to work out, but
power draws. Were they starting right and coming back, or just were they left?
They were starting on target and then hooking like I hooked a 7-iron on one hole, like probably 40 yards.
Power
left.
Draws. Keep that body moving.
I know. But yeah, it was good. It was good. And for a good call. So
love it.
Thoughts on I want to get your thoughts on Ludwig, because I was just talking to Pat. This was the first week at the Memorial that all 3 of his tee to green categories were in the green on Bet.
Yes.
First week since the Genesis. And this seems like it'd be an awesome place for him. He's 14-1. You and I both don't want anything to do with Rory. So that leaves the next question being Ludwig and then the group at the 20+1 number. So are you interested in Lud at 14-1?
Well, yeah, you bring up a good point. I'm not touching Rory this week. And I got to be honest, I'm probably not touching Corey Connors either, just because I think it's too heavy of a lift for these Canadians. I know Nick Taylor won it the other year, but
you think Nick frees him up though? Like, didn't they kind of free, like, because you hadn't had a Canadian.
Big deal to these guys, man. Maybe,
yeah.
But I think it's one of those things where they want it so bad it might hurt them.
Yeah.
I don't hate Ludwig here at all, dude. He had a great round. What was that, Sunday or or Saturday on the weekend? He was like 6 under through 12 at some point. And the course was not playing easy. He probably would be my shortest guy.
I mean, I'm glad to see some things looking better. I think it's definitely a great course for him. I don't think I can do it at 14. He is 56th in the model, which is tough.
Do you like that it's new for everybody this week?
Yeah.
Like, he's been doing that the last couple of years.
Still, that's definitely to his advantage, I guess, because he's so talented. But I don't think he's primed to win right now. I mean, and to me, I go to Lowry. And that's horrible because he is so frustrating to have.
He is, and he falls into that category with like Cantlay and Xander. It's like, how many times are y'all gonna be in the top 10 on the odds? And when's the last time you've won?
Yeah. Well, Lowry, I don't know. For some reason, like I feel better about Lowry than I do Cantlay for sure. Because at least I feel like Lowry kind of has. Lowry seems to have kind of a dog in him a little bit. Okay, he actually cares. I know he doesn't close out tournaments very much, but that's because he just fucking sucks putting. Like, I don't think it has anything to do. He hits fairways, he throws darts, he scrambles his ass off. But the dude is he's so bad putting.
He had a great week with the irons, especially at the start last week, but
he's one of those that, like, all you need is one good putting week, which even the worst putters have every now and then. And he's winning, like, with no issue. I don't love it at 22. I might not do it. But he's the first one I start to think about. I want to get more information on this golf course, the weather, have all that shape out. But I am intrigued by Lowry. And then I really don't get interested at all until we get to Luke Clanton.
I was just looking at that too, man.
You met that kid the other week on that show.
Yeah, right? He's pretty special. He's wise beyond his years. He's very mature. No BS with that kid, but also not a stiff either. He's and also I'm just super impressed on like his starts he's had already on the tour. Look, I was good enough when I was coming out of school to get a few sponsor invites, and like I was full of myself. I thought I was going to go out there and just, figure it out and just eventually make my way onto the tour. And it was so far from that. I was so in over my head. And to see this guy go out there and do it basically week in and week out, it does pique my interest this week where he's had this event targeted here for a long time. This is going to be his pro debut. I could totally see something special happening. And he's sharp. I mean, the guy's been playing so much golf with the NCAAs running up to here. I'm not worried about that one bit.
Yeah.
We might be seeing something special this week.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. I think Clanton's probably going to get, I think the number's going to steam down a little bit too. I think people are going to look at like him versus, and I know Sung Jae's been playing better, but his numbers are terrible from a ball striking standpoint. I think people are going to look at the names above him, like Sung Jae, Sam Burns. I think Pendrith will be popular, but I think they'll look at some names above him and think, yeah, I think I'd rather have Luke Clinton. And so I think the number gets a little shorter, but I like Clanton. I also like Keith Mitchell at 40, right there with him.
Okay.
Who's been knocking on the door. The putting's getting better. The off the tee game's tremendous. We know he can hit the long irons well. He's come so close this year. I have a soft spot for Keith Mitchell. I probably lost a lot of units on him over the years. He might be my 2020s Aaron Wise, but I like him.
I think Keith's got a little more gas than Aaron Wise. Aaron Wise what's funny is how easy it is to forget guys when they take a little bit of time off the tour, like how sick they were.
Yeah, dude, his numbers would jump off the page. His numbers were tremendous. That's why I couldn't stop betting. Like T to Green, he was
What was his deal? Did he take like a mental health medical or something? Was it like that?
Health. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mitchell kind of pops out at me. Your boy Davis Riley at 70s kind of.
Ooh.
I didn't think I'd get here this year.
He didn't play last week either, did he? He's fresh.
Runner up at the PGA, missed the cut at the Colonial.
Sold.
But I mean, he put it together at the PGA.
Sold.
70 to 1. Like, why not?
Sold.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Pat really likes, and so does the model. I did not realize how well, and I love this guy. We had him on the show a long time ago. Great personality, despite being a Georgia Tech guy. Vince Whaley, number 6 in the model, 80 to 1.
Vince Whaley was on the show?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Do you know who Vince Whaley reminds me of?
Who?
Is it Ox from American Pie? Like the jock in American Pie?
Oh, yeah.
Is kind of dumb. You know what I mean? Vince is a very smart guy, but like he looks just like him, dude.
He does look like Ox a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
A great movie.
Yeah.
So Vince is playing good. 11th at Colonial, 15th at the Byron, 7th at Corrales. Like, good. We know he's long. He can putt.
What about Rio Hisatuncia? Does
Pat liked him?
He did.
He mentioned Rio.
Yeah, one of the guys today on the show I did, like the golf bet guy, he liked Hisatuncia this week. But he pronounced his name differently. It was not Hisatuncia.
Hisatsune or whatever.
Or whatever he says. Yeah, it was way different.
It was correct.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I mean, Pat.
Hisatuncia.
There you go.
I definitely prefer our version.
Yeah.
Who else down here? Starting to get into the 100 to 1 category. I'm just going to scroll and mention some names and we'll get out of here.
Okay.
Ryan Fox has been playing well. Hits it far. Thor Bjornsson has been playing well. Hits it far.
Brant Snedeker do anything for you? T7 last week.
No, man. That pisses me off.
Okay.
That pisses me off.
Why?
Because he shouldn't be in the tournament. And I don't care how good he finished. I am so the PGA Tour and their freaking BS meritocracy stuff.
The sponsor invites last week?
Should not be in the damn field. Matt Kuchar, I should be looking at these guys. God bless them.
Okay, so out of Ricky, so we had Ricky, Jordan, Cooch, and Snedeker got sponsor invites last week. Are you okay with Ricky and Spieth?
In my heart, I feel more okay, but I'm sure that they're no more qualified for those than Snedeker and Kuchar are. But at least
Spieth is, but yeah.
It just, but I'd have to do some thinking about who I'd rather see it go to. But I can definitely tell you there's 25 names I would name before seeing Snedeker or Kuchar in the field. It's just the RBC connection, and that's what bothers me is you can't sit here and act like you're this holier than thou meritocracy tour, and these are the best players and signature events, or they're so elite, and they're the shit, and and then invite a guy just because he's got an RBC connection. He's old. And he played well, unbelievable. Props to him, but no one cares about seeing Brandt Snedeker in that field.
Yeah.
Mrs. Snedeker doesn't care. She would rather him be home.
Dude, that finish is going to go a long ways for him last week.
Oh, so they were just going to keep seeing him. Like, if we're going to do, put Boo Weekley in the field. At least give me somebody entertaining. Put Boo Weekley in the field. Put Matt Every in the field. Let him come out of let him forget about his whole gambling thing for 1 week. Put Matt Every in there.
Yeah, it's not working anyways.
Give me some entertainment. I love Sneds. I'm sure he's a great guy. He might be awesome privately. But, God, if we're just literally going to hand out invites,
especially in a limited field,
a limited field event with no merit, damn, give it a Grant Horvat. I don't even care if you do that. I mean, I think the guy would suck too, but that would probably do better for overall interest than it does having Brandt Snedeker taking up space.
I agree.
When I'm scrolling the leaderboard, I'm like, what?
Dude, that was a hell of a final round he played.
It was. Oh, God. All right.
So Brandt doesn't do anything for you. Okay.
Yeah, he does. He makes me angry.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't tell this story on the podcast yet. 14th in the BTN model and overall awesome dude. I introduced myself in the parking lot of Champions last week because I'm a dork, and he just looks like a really approachable guy. And, there's nobody around. So it was like I'm drawing attention to him, and I'd had a few beers. So it just is what it is. But I mentioned his name. I mention his name like every time he plays. If you've been following the show all year, he's a top 40, top 20 in ties staple in the Discord for me or on SoBet for me. And that is Georgia Southern's own Stephen Fisk, who practices and plays out of Champions with us, with Norlander and Luke List and Matt Atkins and used to be Vaughn Taylor, those guys. So I see Stephen Fisk all the time, and he's an absolute.
Taylor's still there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Tell Vaughn.
I will. I see Fisk all the time, and he was in the car. He was in the parking lot putting his clubs up, and I was like, I'm just gonna say something. And I go, "Hey man!" So I introduced myself. I'm like, "Hey man, Stephen Fisk." Right? He's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "He's super nice." I'm like, "Man, I'm David. I have this podcast. We follow you around all the time. Like, I look at your numbers. I'm constantly betting you top 20, top 40. You're kicking ass." I was like, "Love it. Keep it going." He's like, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Dude, I just need to make a putt." And I was like, "Yeah, that would be awesome. Please make putts. That would be really cool." And he goes. And so he starts asking me about the show, and I'm telling him, it's just strictly gambling stuff for PGA Tour. Yeah, that's really cool. He said, I was playing an event a couple weeks ago. I don't remember which one it was. And he said, it was a par 4, and I hit one to like 15 feet, and I hit it, and it just goes center cut, dead center. And like before I even knew it was in, this fan on the green just yells out, and he goes, FanDuel thought it was a no, and I said it was a yes. Hell yeah. he's like, I guess the guy had me on like a birdie or better on that hole. And he's like, so I made that guy some money. I turned around and gave him the thumbs up. I was like, dude, that's awesome. I said, listen, we do not condone people yelling at players, betting, because obviously it's your job and we're just doing it for fun. But it's really cool if you lean into it, you embrace it. He's like, yeah, I think it's awesome. And he's like, I gave the guy a fist bump when I walked to the next hole. And I was like, hell yeah. Like he's a man of the people. So
Stephen Fisk, I love it.
Fisk is 120 to 1. He's plus 360 to top 20. And the dude is just an absolute stripe show with his irons. He just can't chip and putt, but maybe he'll figure it out. So anyway, that's my Stephen Fisk.
I'm sold on Stephen Fisk this week. Yeah. It's a weird week. We don't have a lot of data.
Don't have a lot of data. Yeah. We're going to get some though. We'll put it in the Discord. We'll drop that in the Discord that we get from our BTN folks, and I'm sure more will come out, just media stuff, all that. We'll put all that in the Discord. So hop in there and join our friend Brandon, who won $100,000 this week.
What?
Yeah, dude. In the Discord, BTN subscriber, Discord subscriber won $100,000 on FanDuel.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, pretty sick. I would love to win $100,000 on FanDuel. Any before we get out of here, Matt, any baseball thoughts, any news, anything you want to talk about with baseball?
Jack Caglione, former University of Florida star, getting called up to the Royals. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Lefty, fucking smokes the ball.
Did Florida make it out of there? Are they in there?
We didn't. We lost to Coastal. We we lost to a couple teams, but Coastal Carolina regional is where we lost. And then the softball team lost in the College World Series. Only reason I know that is my daughter is a massive softball fan. So it's kind of it's on in my house.
Well, the clip of that girl inside the park bunt or whatever went viral. I saw that. Dude,
I guilty pleasure. I kind of like watching women's softball.
Really?
Yes, of all the women's sports, I think it's my favorite one to watch.
I love watching college baseball. Like that is so much fun to watch. I watched all 4
hours. I do love college baseball too. Yes.
I watched all 4 hours of the Georgia game yesterday when we lost.
Did you really? Did they make it there? No.
We lost to a walk-off bomb in the last inning. At home, by the way, at Foley Field hosting.
I heard that guy's struggling that left you Condon last year. The guy that was hitting all the homers. I heard he's kind of flaked out a little bit.
Yeah, I hadn't heard much about him. Probably means that's true. But
what
a game. It was very chippy. It was back and forth. There was a lot of warnings from umpires. There were home runs left and right. We come back. We're up 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th. We are the visiting team at our home field trying to play for our season on the line. And they get a 2-run bomb to tie it. No outs, no runners on. I think then they get a single and then another 2-run bomb walk off on our own field. It was horrible. And the game went from 12 o'clock to like 4:15. I watched every pitch. I wanted to kick the dog when it was over. Just freaking miserable. There was so much shit talking, and you were just like, I was like, yeah, we're gonna.
There's some my buddy that I do the clothing. One of my buddies I do the clothing with. He played third base at Florida State. Stud. Anyways, he tells me all kinds of stories from back in the day, like the shit talking and the Mike Martin was his coach at Florida State. All that stuff. I wish if I didn't chase golf, I probably would have chased baseball. I love the team.
No, you did the right thing. All I played was baseball, and I wish I would have never done that.
Yeah, but I might have been a little better than you, so I could have kept going. You know what I'm saying?
You might have been, but you still wouldn't be playing now. That's the thing. It's a sport that you're only going to play for not that long.
True. And then I would suck at golf now.
Then you would suck at golf. That's you would be me now. You would have been, yeah.
I'd be pretty sick to playing the bigs. Of all the professional sports. Okay. Take like, I want to be good at golf away from this. All right. Of all the professional sports, what would you want to like 10-year career? 10-year career.
Golf.
10 years? You're taking golf?
Yeah. Okay, 10 years. Okay, 10 years.
For me, it's baseball. It's easy. It's easy.
Baseball. It's definitely not football. Even though you'd make the more money, your body would just be so broken. It probably is baseball.
All the travel, the cities you get to go to, seeing a lot of the same people.
If you could guarantee me like 10 good years in there to make money and then get out and still have my body intact, because you're going to make plenty of money in baseball still. Mm-hmm. Like hockey, NFL, even NBA, like you'd be banged up a little bit.
Starting pitcher in the bigs, working.
A starting pitcher in the bigs, playing golf all the time. That's the ticket.
That's the life.
That's the ticket. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. All right, buddy. Enjoyed it. Are you doing anything this week for?
Yeah, I got the week off. Hey,
what's on tap?
I don't know, dude. I'm going to Branson, Missouri next week for a 13U baseball tournament. So I'm sure we'll be practicing this week. My life. Anyways,
yeah. Good
luck in your member guest with Pat, dude. Are we gonna get like updates or what?
Yeah, you're still on standby if we need you though.
Oh, for swing tips? Absolutely. Yeah. Just fire.
Yeah, or just motivation. Just motivation.
Yes.
Okay. Listen, I know this is like wrong to do, but I am all about if things are going really south, I am perfectly fine with band-aiding, like duct taping holes in the boat until we get across the line if we have to situation.
That's kind of what happens in those situations.
Yeah. So whether it's mental or physical, if one of us is like, if I can't quit hitting 50-yard hooks with a 7-iron, I might have Pat FaceTime you in the middle of a shot and be like, look at DB and see what he's doing. And you just be like, give me something, give me anything.
Well, making like wholesale changes in the middle of a member guest probably isn't the best.
Yeah, but but if it's not going well, I don't care if it gets worse. I just need to get better.
All right.
I'm all in for just. I'll sell the whole.
And this is your member guest or Pat's?
It's mine. We'll sell the entire estate, whatever we got to do, just to get across the finish line. And
what's the Calcutta like in it?
It'll be about 70, I would think.
Yeah. What will you guys go for?
Depends on where we get flighted. I don't know. See, last year we didn't get in it because so there's 2 member guests in my club, and we were in the September one, and Hurricane Helene hit the night before the first round. We got wiped out. So we haven't played it in now almost 2 years, and this will be our 5th year, and we've never made the shootout. So the only reason we ever go for anything is because people are like, "Oh, it's the Tour Junkies, I'm going to buy them," and then they just buy us, but we suck. So, but I will say Pat's coming in a little sandbaggy, which is good. That's what we have to do to even come close. I just need him to do a little bit. I need Pat on his popping holes to pop. You know what I mean?
You need his levels correct.
He's coming in at a 13, which I think is a 16 at my course. It's a big change. Like my course handicap from his course is I think he's a 16 at Champions.
Yeah.
Like he'll get nice pops. And you played with him when he kind of found it a little bit. Like he's
perfectly capable of doing something good.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll see. Be on standby. Yeah. Otherwise, updates on Instagram. We try to put updates on Instagram stories. All right, may your screens be green, like our boy Illegal Form Nation last week on FanDuel, and bend over your bookies, people. See ya.
See ya.
Tour Junkies featuring David Barnett is not an affiliate of CWM LLC. Opinions expressed by the host or guests do not reflect those of CWM LLC. CWM LLC does not endorse gambling or the entities promoted by the Tour Junkies podcast. David is a non-registered representative of CWM LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.